Hey everybody, MrFlavorsmith here. And are you looking for an effective way to light lump coal? I tell you what, I have a way that I do it and it works really, really good. So I'm gonna share it with you right now. All right, so there's a few things you're gonna need to accomplish this. The first one being, I like to use a chimney. This is a vertical chimney, and what you do is you put your charcoal inside that chimney, okay? And you fill it all the way up, give you a full chimney. This one happens to be made by Weber, but there's tons of different ones out there. And what it's sitting on right now is just a real cheap little grill. And I like to have this readily available for me if I need to top off with a new batch of coals or something. But you don't need this little grill. You can actually do it directly on your kettle or your grill system. If that's all that you have, it's completely fine. Then obviously the next thing you're gonna need is a really good lump coal. And I've tried a bunch of different brands out there, but I tell you what, I am crazy about this Cowboy brand of lump coal. It's oak and hickory hardwood, and I've found that a lot of setbacks with some lump coal manufacturers. I think a lot of people just put whatever they can in there, so you get a lot of really tiny pieces with lump coal. It's not a problem, it's just they don't really hold the heat really well. But the Cowboy brand, I found that every single time I get a bag of this stuff, it's pretty consistent on its size from one bag to another, and it really puts off a good flavor. So you don't even need to put any like chunks of hickory or anything in there. It just does a good job of giving a good barbecue flavor. All right, then the next thing is I use 2 of these little fire starters. They're little all natural biomass cube, and I put these on the bottom here, and I'll show you in a second. I put 2 of them there and I light them. Then I put a little bit of that lump coal into the chimney, and then about halfway up, I throw one of these tumbleweeds in there. And the reason why I do that is a lot of times, like I said, you'll get smaller pieces of the lump coal. And so you get a really tight compaction of the coals in there, and there's not a lot of air for it to breathe. And so it takes a long time for your lump coal to get to the proper temperature. But if you throw one of these little tumbleweeds right in the center of your stack of lump coal and then light the bottom, once it heats up and lights that centerpiece, it lights the top half, and you get to the proper temperature so you can use these coals much quicker than you would without it. All right, so let's put everything together right now and get this bad boy lit up. So let's fill this up about halfway. Okay, so we have a lot of little ones on this one. So then what we're gonna do is the ones that fell through, we're just gonna take those from the bottom. We're gonna throw them back on top. Just get the biggest ones you can. I'm at kind of the bottom of the bag for my lump coal, so it makes a little bit of sense. Then we'll take our 2 fire starters, and I like to kind of offset them. So I place them just like that on end, one right there, and I'll do one right here. And then I'll put my chimney right over the top. And then I'll put my tumbleweed right in the center, just like this, and I'll continue filling it. All right, now it's topped off. All right, now we'll just take our Bic lighter and we'll light those 2 bottom ones. So we'll remove our chimney real quick. And sometimes this can take a little bit, but if you have a torch, this goes by much quicker. All right, now that both of those little bio cubes are fully lit, now all we do is just put our chimney right back over the top. And we try to get those centered as best as we can. And then we just wait for this heat to collect up here and for it to ignite the tumbleweed that's halfway in there. All right, we are a minute into just fully igniting the bottom piece, and you can see that it's already smoking really good. That means it's doing its job. One other thing that you're gonna notice that's really kind of fun about lump coal is that once it's in the chimney like this and it really gets going with the heat, is you're gonna start hearing it crackle and everything. And sometimes you will get little sparks that come off of there. So you wanna make sure that you're igniting this chimney in a safe place and that you have a hose nearby at all times in case something else catches on fire. All right, why use lump coal over briquettes? I tell you the reason why I like to use lump coal is the flavor. It just tastes, for me, better than any briquette on the market. With that being said, there's a time and place for everything. And I really do love the flavor that the Cowboy brand coal, briquette coal, that actually puts out as well. It's very similar to this lump coal, just a little bit less. Besides a really good flavor profile, like what would you use this for? I like to use lump coal when I'm cooking burgers indirectly, and then in the last few minutes, I'll put it right over the lump coal area, and I'll do a nice quick sear and get a nice little char on the outside of each side. Also, I love cooking steaks this way. With lump coal and an indirect cooking method with a reverse sear is amazing. It just packs in the flavor, gives you that perfect texture, gives you that right amount of char. This will give you amazing burgers and truly, truly flavorful steaks. Okay, while our coal comes up to temperature, you might be thinking, well, how are we gonna hold all those little pieces of lump coal? I'll show you. Take our grill off. We're gonna throw in this. This is an offset or an indirect coal basket. And we're gonna throw our lump coal all in here. We're gonna put this little top right back on, just like this. And so now this is our cooking surface area right here. And this is gonna be our reverse sear area right here. This makes burgers, steaks, chicken, anything absolutely flavorful. And it gives that perfect amount of char. But we'll take the grill off so we can put the coal directly into there. All right, we are about 7 minutes into just fully lighting this. And as you can see right now, it's going nuts. And might not be able to hear it, but it has got a lot of little sparks going on and everything. It's getting to temperature. I do not think the middle tumbleweed has ignited yet, but it might have. We are seeing a lot of smoke coming out of here. And we're about 7 minutes in. All right, I'm going to attempt to get the microphone a little bit closer to see if you can actually hear this. All right, so we're about 10 minutes into initially lighting the chimney, and you can see the smoke has completely changed. It's much more subtle than it was before. You don't have this big white cloud raging coming up. And what we're seeing, I don't know if you can really see it in the video, but we're starting to see that the coals are reaching right about halfway, just a little bit under halfway. You can see where it's nice and red right there. So we're gonna give it another 2 minutes to about 12 minutes and check it again. All right, so we're 12 minutes in right now. And I don't know if you can see this, but you've got this hole, and this hole. So the top hole, I want that to be nice, hot, and red inside there, because if that's red, then I know that just under the surface here of the stuff that's still black, that this is gonna be plenty hot. So I'm gonna attempt to just blow on this and see if the camera will pick that up. You can see that it's nice and hot right there. So these coals, even though they're black up top, are ready to go. You can see that the smoke has basically quit. That means that these are hot. Even though those top coals are still black, they're getting hot. That is for sure. They're not smoking any longer. And so there's a lot of heat underneath this. So guess what? As soon as that smoke stops, we are ready to put these into our charcoal basket system. The one thing is an absolute necessity is a good pair of gloves to be able to handle your chimney to prevent you from getting burned. And you know what? You don't need anything fancy. I got these for $7. They're welding gloves, very affordable welding gloves, but they do the job and they keep my hands nice and safe. Let's put those coals in right now. And if you notice, the Weber chimney has two different handles. It's got this one right here that my main hand is on, and then it's got this top one right here, this wire piece. And so you use that to hold, and you do this with two hands. And all we're gonna do is just dump this basket right into that basket. Just like that. There we go. Now all we need to do is put our grill grate on, just like this. And this grate actually has a flap, just like that. So you're able to top them off if you want to. And this is our cook surface. Now we just take our hood and we put our hood on. We open up our bottom vent. I'm gonna be cooking steaks. I think I'm just gonna wanna put it about halfway, okay? My top vent, we're gonna keep this fully open. And we're gonna put our top vent opposite of our heat source, because this is where we're cooking. So this way, the air is gonna come through the bottom of the coals. It's gonna hit the coal bed, get that hot air coming up and over our cook area right here, and it's gonna exit out through the top. That's it. All right, well, I hope you found value on how I light lump coal and how easy it is to do and all the different things you can do with it. And if you did, please do me a huge favor. Like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me produce more content like this for you in the future. I gotta tell you, I'm starving and I'm ready to start grilling. It's 100 degrees out here. So until next time, live a life of flavor. Hey, Are you guys still here? Hey, it's time to go. It's like 100 degrees out here, and I tell you what, I'm starving, so I'm gonna throw some burgers on this and not waste this. Really, go. Enjoy the rest of your day, you know? Go throw something on the barbecue and make it packed full of flavor. Go, go, go. See you next time.